Hello there. Today we're learning about methods in Java. So a method is an instruction that tells an object to perform an action. If you understand what that means, great. If not, then don't worry about it. We'll get there. One thing I want to point out about methods is that the naming convention for them uses camel case. Camel case is when you normally when you name a method, you use a description that involves two words. And an example of camel case in this sense right here would be the first word is all lowercase, and then the second word has the first letter capitalized. So when you look at this, it kind of looks like a camel because it has a little hump in the middle because of this capital. This, of course, camel case is different from Pascal case. Pascal case is when you've got a capital letter at the beginning of each word. So let's go ahead and let's create our first method here. So notice that I've got a class right here. I've got public class crow3 underscore 066 underscore roar line demo. And whenever we create a program, Java has to have a method that it starts with. And the method that Java will always look for first is the main method. So let's go ahead and let's type our main method. So public static void main string args. Now keep in mind that we've got our main method right here, and everything in between these two parentheses is going to be in the main method. So let's go ahead and let's type some code here. We're going to say system.out.println. We're going to tell our user this is printing from the main method. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to call the following. We'll call the roar lion method. So I'm going to say roar lion. And I'm going to put those two parentheses right there. That's how we know this is a method. Now notice that I've got an error here, and that's because roar lion has not been created yet. We have not created the roar lion method. So let's go down here. Keep in mind that I need to so everything in between these two braces belongs to the main method. I want to create a new method, so I need to go below this brace right here, and I'm going to create my roar lion method. So I'm going to say public static void roar lion. I'm going to press enter, and then I'm going to have two braces. Everything in between here is going to belong to the roar lion method. So within our roar lion method, let's go ahead and let's print the following to the screen. System.out print line, and I'm going to say roar. Now we are in the roar lion method. Alright. So whenever we call the roar lion method, it's going to come down here and we're going to print the following to the screen. Alright, so let's go back to our main method, and after the roar lion method, we're going to go ahead and we're going to print the following. Let's go ahead and print the following to the screen. System.out.println, and we're going to say now we are back in the main method. So here's what this program is going to do. When Java starts this program, it's going to look for the main method, it's going to find the main method, and it's going to start doing the commands here inside the main method. So the first thing it's going to do is it's going to print the following to the screen. This is printing from the main method. And then we come down here to the roar lion method, and so we're going to call this, we're going to go down here and we're going to execute the statements here in the roar lion method. So it's going to say roar. Now we are in the roar lion method. Once this finishes, we're going to come back to our main method right here, and then we're going to do the following statement. It's going to say, now we are back in the main method. And if I run this, this is what we should see. This is printing from the main method, so that's this right here. And then we call the roar lion method, so it's going to come down here and print this. So roar, now we are in the roar lion method. ahead and put a space there. And then when we come back to the main method, it's going to complete this statement. Now we are back in the main method. Now, let's say if I want to, I can call the roar_line method as many times as I want. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call it before this statement. So I'm going to call the roar_line method twice. So the first thing that this program is going to do after Java finds the main method, it's going to call the roar_line method. So if I run this, so now the first thing that this program does is it does the roar_line method. It prints the following to the screen, then it comes back to here. It says this is printing from the main method. And then we go back to roar_line. We call the roar_line method again, and prints that to the screen, and we come back to here. Now we're back in the main method. So I could take roar_line and I could bring it down here to the bottom, and I could call it again. In fact, I could call it twice, 2, 3, 4 times. Let's go ahead and run this again. And here we are. So it calls the roar_line method here, calls it again, and calls it 4 times here at the very end of the program. So let's look at an example of another program that uses methods. And so this demo right here, this is the Method Madness demo. This uses actually 4 methods. The first method I have in here is main. The second method I have is awesome method. The third method I have is called radical method, and then the fourth is called loopy method. So let's look and see what happens here first. Java will run the program. It's going to look for the main method, and then we're going to come in here and it's going to print the following. The program will always start in the main method. Right now we are in the main method, and then we're going to call the awesome method. So let's go down to the awesome method here. So we're going to call the awesome method, and it's going to say now we're in the awesome method. It truly is awesome to be in this method. Then we're going to go back to our main method here, and then we're going to print now we're back in the main method. And then we're going to call the radical method. So let's go down to the radical method here. Here we are. It's going to say radical. I'm in the radical method. Then I'm going to go back up. It's going to say, and we're back in the main method again. Boring. Let's get loopy. Now I'm going to call the loopy method. So now I'm going to go down to the loopy method here. It's going to say now we're in the loopy method. This method will call the radical method 5 times. Here we go. So I'm going to use this for loop, and I'm going to call the radical method within this loopy method, because I can do this. All these methods are accessible to one another. So I'm going to call the radical method 5 times. So it's going to print to the screen radical. I'm in the radical method 5 times. Then I'm going to come back here and I'm going to print that was fun. Now we will leave the loopy method, and then I'll go back to the main method right here. So for giggles, let's go back to the awesome method, and then I call the awesome method, and then back in the main method again. This program is done. So if I run this, this is what we'll see. So here we are. So we're just calling the methods over and over again. One of the nice things about methods is that it gives you the ability for code reuse, which is wonderful if you don't want to have a program where you have to write all of these statements. For example, it was really nice to just have that radical method that I could call multiple times to do the following. Anyway, this is the introduction to methods. Hope this was helpful, and we'll catch you next time.